What's going on, Jerome's? Fired up, man. Like training camp is here. We're only a couple days until the welcome back weekend. We're literally 2 weeks until the Vikings' first preseason game in Seattle. Love to see it, man. Love to see it. But there's some business to be sorted out in camp when days are hot and tempers are high. Here are 10 Vikings camp battles to look forward to. First up, quarterback 2. So you got the veteran Nick Mullins, as well as you got the rookie 5th-round pick Jaren Hall. Now, Nick Mullins, in my opinion, is an extremely solid, perfectly, slightly above average veteran backup quarterback, even though he is only 28. So there you go. And Jaren Hall coming in a little bit older of a rookie, but has a great deep ball, has a great leadership, a great moxie, and I actually think that he has an above average chance to show up and show out and do a little something. Also, since the Vikings currently only have 3 quarterbacks on the 90-man, Jaren Hall is going to get a lot of snaps with the third team. He's going to get a lot of snaps with in preseason games, and I think that he is going to have an opportunity to potentially, I don't think that he'll unseat Mullins necessarily, but he potentially has a chance to stay on the 53 as well as make an impression going forward, especially if Kirk Cousins leaves next year. About that. Next up, position battle number 2, running back 2. So Madison is obviously running back 1. Kwesi sort of poo-pooed the idea of Dalvin coming back, so it does seem like it's going to be a youth movement there. And also do think that Madison is going to be RB1, but I don't think this is necessarily going to be a full bell cow situation. I think that it is going to be a little bit of a running back by committee. Ty Chandler, love his speed, love his agility, love his receiving ability as well. I think that he is a wild card. I think that he's going to get quite a bit of work on offense, on passing downs. Dwayne McBride, the rookie 7th-round pick, sort of a 2-down tyrant, fantastic running the ball, not so much as a receiver, but love his vision, love his patience. Love his one-cut ability. I think that he's going to impress. Like, I'm not ready to say he'll be this year's Tyler Algier or Isaiah Pacheco, but I'm not saying that. And King Kene, best kick returner in the league, hasn't really established himself as a true running back, whether here or at Iowa State. So we'll see. Next up, training camp position battle number 3, wide receiver 2. That's right. So we said before, this isn't just like a clear definition. This isn't the one guy. This is not like a starting quarterback position, because KJ or Addison, whoever is wide receiver 2, the other guy's going to get a lot of work too. And Addison, the fact that he's healthy to start training camp is fantastic. And KJ, you can make a good case that KJ was the wide receiver 2 last year. I know that Adam Thielen has a special place in our hearts, but KJ was a guy that Kirk went to on third downs and in the red zone, and he does have Kirk's trust. And with JJ and TJ getting all that attention and JJ getting double teamed, I think that either one of these guys are going to have a massive opportunity to be able to level up as the wide receiver 2 in this offense. Next up, position battle number 4, wide receivers 4 through 6. All right, so the whole thing about it is, it really is a question of who's going to be contributing on special teams, because I think that one or more of these spots is going to go to the punt returner and potential kick returner if they do get rid of King Kene. I don't know. But Jalen Naylor, last year's Day 3 rookie out of Michigan State. Jalen Rager, the former first-round pick, taken ahead of Justin Jefferson. Brandon Powell, a little bit of a gadgety, do-it-all receiver who does have return ability from his days with the Rams. You do have Action Jackson, Lucky Jackson, as well as Tristan Jackson. And then you got Thayer Thomas as well as Blake Pro. So a lot of these guys are going to be competing. I would give the slight edge to Jalen Naylor, who really impressed during OTAs. Got a lot of opportunity with Jefferson away during OTAs, as well as Addison being held out with minor injury. Jalen Rager, what he's got going for him is that he was the return man last year. He was in the offense last year, although had a couple issues. And also his 4th-year salary of $2.5 million and change is fully guaranteed. So that potentially could keep him on the roster. Brandon Powell is a lot of fun. I think that if he can unseat Rager as the punt returner, maybe that's going to be the spot there. Who knows? Then Tristan Jackson, I've said, is super interesting. I really like him as a dark horse. Thayer Thomas has great punt return ability, as well as was a standout slot receiver at NC State. And then Blake Prohl coming back from that ACL. A voice of an angel. Can it translate on the field? TBD. Next up, position battle number 3. For some reason, we typed in 10. There we go. Tight end 3. So obviously tight end 1 and 2 is going to be Hockenson and Josh Oliver respectively. They're going to quickly become one of the best tight end duos in the league. But who's going to be tight end 3? I would say Johnny Munt probably has the inside track because he was tight end 2 last year with Irv Hurt. But Munt is a rock-solid veteran in terms of being a blocking tight end, also underrated receiver. Nick Muse was a 7th-round pick last year, played some special teams, was on and off the practice squad. I got Colin Thompson, the journeyman veteran, as well as / long snapper. Ooh, that's right, man. And then Ben Simmons, the UDFA. So I think right now it probably is between Munt and Muse, or maybe Muse and Thompson duke it out for a practice squad spot. We'll see. Next up, kick returner. Now you would say you have the best kick returner in the league. Why would this be a competition? Well, I think that it's a non-zero chance that they potentially shop King Kene, especially with that backlog at running back. But King Kene, great kick returner, but also they're reducing the role of the return specialist. Ty Chandler had a really nice kick return last year in preseason. Him and King Kene basically split reps last year during training camp. Jalen Rager, bit more of a punt returner, but certainly has kick return ability, and then Powell can do it all as well. And then you go to punt returner. So Jalen Rager is the incumbent. The Vikings have really had issues at punt returner ever since Marcus Sherrill's retired. But, but I do think that, Powell maybe has an upper hand here. But also, don't sleep on Thayer Thomas. I keep coming back to him, and the kid's just a dynamite punt returner. He's really good in the slot. The Vikings don't have like a true slot receiver. They have a lot of guys with significant slot experience with Jefferson and Addison and KJ. But Thayer Thomas is like the true like joystick slot guy. So I'm sort of fired up about him there. 3 more to go. Next up. So the defensive ends. So you got the 4 techs and you got the 5 techs in this spot. Who's going to be the starter? But I actually do see, with Flores' defense being multiple, I do think that there's going to be a lot of roles for a lot of guys here. But who's going to be starting on paper on purpose? I do think Harrison Phillips is probably going to be on the nose. Or maybe they kick him out to defensive end more, and then they get Kyrus Tonga involved along the defensive line at nose tackle on early downs. But Jaquelin Roy, the rookie 5th-round pick out of LSU, who ran with the ones during OTAs and mandatory minicamp, I think I like his potential. Sezio Tamuo was really solid whenever he was on the field last season, which wasn't a lot. But I do love his run-stopping ability as well as his leadership out there. Dean Lowry coming over from the Packers. I think he still has a little bit of juice as a pass rusher, and of course is decent against the run. And then they brought back Bullard. They traded for Ross Blacklock last year from the Texans, a former pride of TCU, former number 40 overall pick, as well as Blake Lynch, still just hanging in there. So, the Vikings do have to have an overhaul in the defensive line, and with this scheme change, it's had to translate a lot more, bringing guys that fit into the scheme. But with Flores, even though he said that they're going to be a base 3-4 team, they're going to be multiple. There's going to be 4-man fronts. There's going to be 3-man fronts. All these guys are going to have a major opportunity. Next up, linebacker 3+. So the starters going to be Jordan Hicks, the veteran run stuffer, probably a captain, probably green dot guy, and then Brian Asama. That's right, but everything else is wide open, man. And UDFA, Ivan Pace Jr., coming out of Cincy, formerly of Miami, Ohio, great pass rusher, great nose and instincts. I think that he's going to rise fast. Now, Troy Dye, you remember Troy Dye used to be a starter. Like when injuries put him into the lineup, injuries to Wilson and Barr and Kendricks throughout the years. But he was He's a phenomenal special teams player. He's a solid backup. I think that might be his ceiling. Same thing with Troy Reeder. He does have starting experience, a bit more of a backup, but does have experience with Kevin O'Connell from the Rams days. And then the UDFA last year, Temple Kwenku, a little bit more of a run stuffer. I do think that Pace is dynamic in this spot, but will he be able to rise up in this truncated training camp as well as only 3 preseason games? Potentially. And then lastly, the training camp battle to watch, number 10, cornerbacks. So cornerback is wide open, pardon the pun, but Murphy, Blackman, Booth, Evans right now look to be your first 4. But it really is anyone's guess, because after Murphy, who's going to start? Blackman's been running with the ones, especially in the slot. Caleb Evans, I think, played better than Andrew Booth Jr. last year as rookies before they both got injured. knock on all the wood, if both of them are healthy, they both have length, they both have good press man ability, especially Booth if he's healthy. Jawan Williams has great length, and going back to his Patriots days, he came in as a free agent. He's a bit of a wild card. Kalam Barnes, the speedster. Tay Gowan's been putting in that work, and I just don't know. Like, the Vikings basically lopped off their top 4 corners last year. So Patrick Peterson gone, Sean Sullivan gone, Duke Shelley gone, and Cameron Tiny Dancer waived. So it's going to be a new day, a new dawn in that cornerback room. But there's question marks, but I think there's a lot of talent there, and I think that they will get things going. But that's it. That's 10 Vikings training camp battles to watch. Let us know your thoughts and our thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But till next time, Skol production value.